Have you ever felt like you were standing at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take? It's a common feeling, one that we all face at some point in life. The struggle to choose the right direction can feel overwhelming, especially when the stakes are high. But what if the choice you're facing isn't about picking a path, but finding the courage to forge one yourself? This is the heart of today's story, the journey of self-discovery, resilience, and taking that leap of faith, even when the future feels uncertain. By the end, you'll understand how facing your own struggles might be the very thing that leads you to the success you're searching for. Are you ready to discover how? The story I'm about to share may seem familiar, even though it comes from a unique moment in history. It's the kind of story where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, where a single decision changes everything. This isn't just a tale about overcoming adversity. It's about pushing through uncertainty and finding strength you never knew you had. Whether it's career struggles, personal doubts, or the simple question of, what's next? We all face moments of indecision, and those moments can feel paralyzing. Yet what if they're not obstacles, but opportunities in disguise? In the next few minutes, we'll explore one such moment in time when someone faced the unknown, unsure of how things would unfold, and what they discovered about themselves in the process. It's a journey of transformation, and I promise, it's one that will make you rethink your own path. Our story takes place during a time of great change, a period marked by social, political, and economic upheaval. The year was 1942, and the world was in the midst of World War II, a conflict that affected nearly every country on the planet. Yet the heart of our story lies not in the battlefields, but in the lives of ordinary people who, while not soldiers, found themselves thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Among them was a young woman, Mary Thompson, a high school teacher in a small town in England. She had always led a quiet life, focused on her students and her passion for literature. But when the war intensified and the threat of invasion loomed, everything changed. Mary, like many others, had to make difficult decisions that would test her resilience and resolve. She became part of a network of civilians who helped refugees escape, an act that placed her own life at risk. As we venture deeper into Mary's journey, we'll uncover how the world outside her small town collided with the courage she never thought she possessed. As the war raged on, Mary's role in helping refugees grew more perilous. One night, she received an urgent message. A group of Jewish refugees needed to be smuggled across the border, but there was a problem. The authorities had just begun to tighten security, and a network of informants had been planted to expose anyone involved in resistance activities. The stakes had never been higher. With each passing day, Mary's nerves were frayed. She knew the risks, but the faces of the refugees, the helplessness in their eyes, made her heart ache. The pressure mounted as the authorities' presence in her town grew stronger. Every time she left her home, she had to be careful, covering her tracks, not even knowing who she could trust. Then, just days before the scheduled escape, Mary learned that one of the informants was someone close to her. The shock was crippling. Could she expose this betrayal without implicating herself or anyone else in the network? As Mary wrestled with this new challenge, the weight of her actions felt unbearable. What began as an act of kindness had now spiraled into a life-and-death game of strategy. Her courage, which had once seemed unwavering, was now under siege. One cold evening, as Mary sat alone, the weight of the situation pressing on her, she received a message that would change everything. The informant, a fellow teacher named Robert, had come forward. He confessed to her that he was being blackmailed and had no choice but to cooperate with the authorities. But in a moment of unexpected clarity, Robert offered Mary a way out. He had discovered a secret route, one that no one else knew about, which could allow the refugees to escape safely. It was risky, but it was also their only chance. As Mary listened, a wave of emotion washed over her. What could have been the end of her mission had turned into the key to saving lives. She had two choices: abandon the refugees or trust Robert and take the risk. In that pivotal moment, Mary's decision became clear. It wasn't just about saving others. It was about facing her own fears, pushing beyond her own limitations, and doing what was right in the face of overwhelming odds. This was the shift she needed. The night of the escape, everything seemed to hang in the balance. The refugees, hidden under cover of darkness, moved quickly through the woods toward the secret route that would take them across the border. Mary led them, her heart racing with every step. Behind her, the sounds of a distant patrol echoed through the trees. There was no turning back now. As they reached a clearing, a sudden shout pierced the night. Soldiers had spotted them. A chase ensued. Mary's pulse thudded in her ears as she pushed forward, urging the group to run. Just as they neared the border, a gunshot rang out, striking the ground near Mary's feet. Panic surged, but she didn't stop. The group reached the final checkpoint, a narrow pass that led to safety. Mary stood at the edge, her breath coming in ragged gasps. Just as the last of the refugees crossed, she felt a hand grab her arm. It was Robert. He had come to help, to ensure her escape too. In that heart-stopping moment, Mary had to make a choice. Stay and risk being caught, or leave and ensure that everyone else got to safety. Without hesitation, she let go of Robert's hand and sprinted toward freedom. The dawn broke as Mary and the refugees crossed into safety, the dangers of the night still fresh in her mind. She had done it. They had all made it. But in the quiet aftermath, the weight of her choices began to settle in. Mary never saw Robert again. The network was forced to disband, and many members went into hiding. But the lives she saved continued to thrive, far away from the darkness of war. In the months that followed, Mary received letters from the refugees, expressing their gratitude and telling her of their new lives. But there was no sense of triumph in her heart, only the quiet knowledge that she had done what needed to be done. She had faced unimaginable challenges, but in the end, it wasn't just about surviving. It was about doing what was right, even when it seemed impossible. Though she had no way of knowing, this act of courage would resonate beyond her lifetime, inspiring others to stand up, to take risks, and to change the world for the better. Mary's journey teaches us that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act despite it. We all face moments where the stakes feel impossibly high, where the right choice seems unclear. But the story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a glimmer of hope, if we choose to look for it. As you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, where do you need to take a stand? What uncomfortable choices have you been avoiding? It's easy to let fear guide our decisions, but it's the moments where we push through fear that shape who we truly are. Mary's story isn't just about one woman's bravery. It's about the potential within all of us to make an impact, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant the act might seem at the time. Mary's story is a powerful reminder that bravery often comes in the quietest, most unexpected moments. It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic victories. Sometimes it's about showing up, doing what's right, and staying true to your values, even when the world feels chaotic. This journey is one we all walk at different points in our lives. The next time you feel uncertain or afraid, remember that the greatest acts of courage often begin with a single step forward. Keep pushing forward, because you never know how your choices will shape the world around you. The next time you're faced with a challenge, remember Mary's journey. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect answer. Take the first step, even if you don't know what the outcome will be. Courage doesn't require certainty, only the willingness to move forward despite fear. So ask yourself today, what small action can you take that will move you closer to your own mission, your own truth? Whatever it is, do it now. Your choices have the power to change lives, starting with your own. Go out and make it happen.